Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be flying the Toliss Airbus A340-600 service from Portland International to San Francisco International Airport in the United States of America. I want to welcome all of you to this live stream. John Mark, welcome aboard, my friend. Rand Cooley, my friend, good evening to you, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Badger, good evening to you, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Raphael, welcome aboard, my friend. And glad to have you with us for the very first time on live stream. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Stan, thank you very much, my friend, for your support. Both you and Rand have been instrumental to the success of my live stream, so thank you very much for everything that you do. ABK, you're most welcome on the video, and hopefully I'll do a settings for a fully configuring X-Plane 12 in the near future for everyone having trouble with it. Thank you very much. We have also with us Rund welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you. Airline Pilot, welcome aboard. Dave, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. You're most welcome, sir. And we have with us Mika. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. I woke up at 4 a.m. for you. Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Glad to have you with us on live stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing on the screen here is default X-Plane 12. There are no scenery enhancement. There is nothing except the default Portland International Airport. Today, I'm very excited to fly the Toliss after the all the changes that have been made to it. And it looks like it is going to be a really cool update. Let me see. I got that one wrong. Okay, here we go. So they have now integrated SimBrief with the aircraft, and it makes it really seamless to set the aircraft up, and you don't really have to fiddle around too much. It really minimizes the workload and shortens the time to get the aircraft started. But first, let me let me show you guys this airport from different angles. Now, of course, it is not the high fidelity that you'd see in payware airports, but the buildings are actually very nicely done. The ground markings and the runways are beautiful, and they're actually quite detailed and quite, high quality. All the taxi signs, the taxi signage, the markings on the ground, on the runways, and you can see the surface refraction. It looks like it's been raining here in Portland earlier, and we can see that the surfaces are still wet. And we can also take a look at, let me show you just very quickly, the parking positions there. Let me just there we go. So the actual jetways look very nice. The buildings, the reflections, PBR materials, you can see the reflection of the windows. So overall, for a default airport, it looks fantastic in my view. But now, let's take a look at the Toliss. The Toliss is actually an aircraft I like flying, and I do like the A340. It just looks fantastic. It looks very majestic, and it's one of the fun Airbuses to fly. It flies very different from your regular A320 or A321. It's a very large aircraft, a very heavy aircraft, and it requires special handling, especially on the ground. So we have also with us today, I bet Australia is still neglected. Not a chance, Miko. Of course, I'm going to, since I'm doing an X-Plane stream, I chose to not do it in Australia because that was your recommendation. So we'll do the next one. The next Australia stream will be in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We have Aki Sim. Welcome aboard from Finland. Glad to have you. Is this live weather? Yes, sir. That is live weather. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, the cockpit of the A340 after the enhancements made by Toliss. And let me tell you, it actually looks pretty good. So it's not, in my view, the highest fidelity possible. especially the overhead panel. I think still needs a little bit more work, but I think the cockpit textures here look pretty good. The reflections are good, and FPS is also pretty good. So all is looking good there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get things started. And we're going to push back out of Portland. We're going to be departing today, runway 28 left. And we are going to be cruising at a final cruise altitude of 39,000 feet. Should be interesting. And the approach into San Francisco should be interesting. I am using ShortFinal, or Mr. X's San Francisco definitive, and as it is always the case, if you want the links to all the add-ons used in this video, you can type exclamation ARR for the arrival runway, exclamation DEP for the departure, and exclamation aircraft for the link to the aircraft, as well as exclamation livery to get the livery if you're interested in this fictitious Delta livery for the Airbus A340. All right. Let's go ahead and get started, and the first thing we are going to do is head here over to the overhead panel. Now let's zoom in, turn on battery 1, battery 2, now the APU battery. Now, quite frankly, the sounds of the switches is still not very good in my view, but you know, it's better, but I do like the engine sounds, and we'll listen to the engine sounds shortly after engine start. All right, so external power, external B and A are both turned on, and now the aircraft has electrical power. We're gonna turn on the crew supply, oxygen, and the ground control, and we're gonna head over here to the overhead panel. We're gonna set the ADIRS to nav mode, and that is now taken care of. Here we can actually do a few tests. We can do an engine fire test here. All checks okay. We're going to head back over here, and we're going to arm the emergency lights, and we're going to turn on the non-smoking signs. We'll leave the seatbelt sign for now, and we're going to turn on the nav lights. Now, we are going to also brighten our displays so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing there. There we go. And let me just remove the armrest here. All right, that's much better. So we can take a look. And we're going to brighten the display of the MCDUs on both sides. And we're also going to brighten our upper ECAM, lower ECAM. And we're going to do the same on the other side here. There we go. Excellent. So we have a nicely illuminated cockpit now. Navigator Jack, welcome aboard. Can you do multi-views at random during flight? Absolutely, no worries at all. All right, so we're going to wait for the ADIRS to align, and we'll set things up. This one, by the way, needs to go to here. Let me just do that there. Excellent. Perfect. All right, let's bring up the MCDU and start programming our flight. Now, the nice thing, by the way, I have the latest AirX cycle, and Navigraph already supports it now, so it will automatically scan and detect X-Plane 12. We're going to go to init. And now, once you have actually filed a plan on SimBrief, the only thing you need to do is come and say init request. And once you do that, it says flight plan data link in progress. And what it's doing right now is fetching the information from SimBrief. And as you can see, just give it a little more time, and it would download the rest of the information. Now, the flight number, don't worry about it. It's an Alaska flight. So I'm just using some data on SimBrief to create the flight plan. So we are carrying about 410 passengers. Cost index is 15. Cruise altitude is 39. And as you can see, performance data uplink is also ready. So it actually downloads the flight plan, and it also downloads all the performance data. So if we go here to the next page, you can see everything is already filled. Zero fuel, block fuel, everything is calculated for us. And if we go to the performance page, we can say takeoff data, and we're going to say request the data. Let me just remove that. All right. So request, why is it not? Let's see here. All right. Insert uplink. There we go. Still saying not allowed. It's acting up here. Received. Okay. It says received. Let's take a look. requests. Why is it not allowed? Come on. All right, let me take a look here. Well, all right, let's go ahead and select the departures first. We'll worry about that in just a minute. All right, so we're departing today, runway 28 left, and that is now selected. And we're going to be departing today. Just quickly, our flight plan is actually pretty simple today. We're going to fly runway 28 left through the Mine 5 departure through the FAMIC transition. Then we are going to take Quebec 3 airway exit at Fon direct to Melbeck, and then it would be the Beja 3 arrival into San Francisco, runway 28 right. So so it knows the runway. You have to set up the departure. Yeah, it looks like that's the problem. So we're going to come here and we're going to select the Mine 5 and with the FAMIC transition, and we're going to insert that. Now we have all of that, and we're going to go to San Francisco. We're going to select our arrival today, ILS runway 28 right. Should be an interesting arrival, and it's the Beja 3 star. There is no transition, and so we're going to go to here and say insert, and now we should have a nice flight plan there. That's the top of descent. There is one discontinuity here, which we are going to clear. Insert. And then it's going to be decel manual. So there is a vector to final, which is CPIN. So that's okay. Normally ATC would vector us in. So now let's go to the performance page, and we're going to go to request data, and now it's requesting the data. So thanks for that. And yeah, I really like the fact that it integrates so seamlessly with SimBrief. And it's just this takeoff data uplink. So now you have all the information. If you go to performance page, we're going to say, no, hang on. Let's go there, and we're going to say takeoff insert uplink. And now, voila. Check this out, guys. You have your V1 speed, V rotate, V2, the flap setting, and the trim is set. The only thing we don't have here is flex temperature. And we probably should not be flexing today. Because we have a contaminated runway. But if you wanted to do that, we can go always to the Toliss control panel. And what you'll see in the control panel is you have everything set up here. We have all the passengers, distribution, cargo. Everything's already loaded up for you. So everything, the only thing you need to do is select your flap setting, and it will give you the flex temperature here. Does this match? About kind of, yeah. A little bit of a difference here between the calculator here and the data calculated here, but overall I think it looks okay. We can enter the flex temperature. Let's go ahead and enter 69. That's fine. In the Toliss, you need to remember to say F, and then that's, I guess, Fahrenheit, and then 69, and enter that there. And now we have the flight plan ready to go. All right, let's go ahead and start the APU. And for that, I'm just going to come down here again, just so that you guys see exactly what I'm doing. And we're going to turn on the APU master. And we are going to turn the APU once the APU flap is open, which I believe it is. And now we can go and start the APU. Brilliant. Almost ready to go. And if we take a look here at the outside once more, just again, very, very nice airport, Portland International, a freeware, or actually a default airport with X-Plane 12. And I really am starting to like X-Plane 12 a lot. And by the way, guys, I have uninstalled X-Plane 11 completely. Benny, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. And can you do, yeah. So, Kevin, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you. Lewis, welcome aboard. You have to set up the bar. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, thank you very much for that. Remy Jensen, welcome aboard, my friend. Good evening to you. I'm still on X-Plane 11. Do you recommend 12? Well, I absolutely am in love with X-Plane 12, to be very honest with you guys. Omari, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you. Thank you for your continued support. You, Stan, and Rand, you have been just great help, and I really appreciate it. We have with us also today Khalid 737. Good evening, Captain. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And by the way, for those of you who do not know, Khalid is just starting his channel, and he does content creation in Arabic. For those of you interested in channels in Arabic, he's got a growing channel with very good content. So yeah, give him a few hundred likes and subscribe to his channel. JB, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you there, Stub. Wish the puddles would be more naturally placed. Yeah, I do agree. That probably needs working a little bit. Blessings from Jamaica, from Deshaun Brown. Welcome aboard, my friend. And TFK's Linux Gaming. Welcome, my friend. KD, welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate if you guys smash that like button for me. And it really helps the channel. So thanks for that. Really appreciate it. All right. So looking back here, we have the APU now available. So APU please turned on, and we can now turn off external power. And we can turn on, again, I follow the no white policy for Airbus. So any white buttons need to be clicked to turn them off. And now we are good to go. All right, we have here approximately, so we should have iris alignment now. We can also turn on the fasten seatbelt signs, and we're just going to wait for the alignment to complete. And we're going to turn on our beacon light. Excellent. And let's go ahead and grab the altimeter. And the altimeter, folks, is going to be, if I look at the weather information, is, let's see. 29903, and we have alignment now. So let's just very quickly take a look at the flight plan so you guys see what we're up to as we depart and arrive into our destination. All right, so there we go. Let's move that up. There we go. Now you guys can see it better. All right, so we're going to step through our flight plan here. And just take a look. This is FAMUC, the transition out of our SID. And then we're going to go all the way to Melbourne, Regia, and then this is the final. As you can see here, we're going to reach this point, then we're going to fly direct to Siepen, this manual. Normally, ATC would vector us in depending on traffic, but of course, in our case, we are just going to fly direct, and we are good to go. All right, perfect. We can remove that. We'll switch this back to map, and we'll have the terrain here. We'll have the weather here. We're going to turn on the weather systems as soon as we have engine start. So let's go ahead and call the pushback truck. And for this, we're also going to use the default X-Plane 12 ground services, and we're going to push back to the right. All right. We're going to go to the external view here, and you can see the pushback truck is now coming to the aircraft. What a beautiful looking aircraft. Look at that. Look at the wings. They just look fantastic. The Toliss A340 is really some excellent work done from a very small development team. But yeah, definitely an excellent aircraft. The Toliss, one of the better aircraft in my view for X-Plane. For X-Plane in general, X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12 now. Of course, you're starting to see some more payware add-ons, freeware add-ons. Aerobasque has just released the Robin aircraft, which was one of my favorite GA freeware aircraft by Aerobasque for X-Plane 11. It is now available for X-Plane 12, and I tell you guys, it looks fantastic. They just really... I mean, Aerobasque are known for creating very high fidelity, very high quality aircraft. And the freeware version of the Robin is just brilliant for X-Plane 12. All right, pushback.
Pushback. Release parking brake.
All right, pushback is in position. And here we go. Push is starting, and let's go ahead and start our engines. Engine mode selector to the on position, and we're going to start with the engine number 4. There we go. Just look at those wings, guys. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Right, we're going to start. Let's take a look here. think we can stop here. That's good. Did you notice the effect here, the water splash?
Disconnect. Pushback completed.
Thank you for your service. All right, so we'll take a look more at the water splash once all our engines are started. But I do like the engine animations there. Looks very nice. And overall, the sounds, especially from the interior of the aircraft, actually sounds very good. And yeah, so we have the first engine now starting. And we can bring this up here so we can monitor the engine start. All right, first engine, engine number 4 is now on. We're going to go with engine number 1. Now, what I've seen, what I've noticed is, you know, a lot of folks, I'm not sure if this is the correct procedure, but they actually start 2 engines and they taxi only with 2 engines, and then they start engines 2 and 3. So I'm not sure if that's like an airline thing, or I'm not sure if it's an airline or a, you know, or part of, you know, operating the aircraft. All right, let's set our altitude real quick here to 39,000 feet, which is our final cruise altitude today. 39,000 is set, and we have a good start on the second engine, which is engine number 1. Let's just wait for it to stabilize. Excellent. And now we can start the engine. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start engines 2 and 3 together. So engine number 2 and engine number 3. We're going to arm the speed brake. We're going to set flaps 3 for departure. All right, flaps 3 is set. That's flaps 2, flaps 3. And we're going to set the trim to 2.9 up. Right, setting the trim there, and that's about 2.9 up. There we go. That is now taken care of, and we have the engines now starting, and this is what the aircraft looks like. Look at that, guys. Look at the details on the landing gear. I think they've done a pretty good job, you know, with the exterior textures, without a doubt. The interior textures, I think, still need a little bit more work, if I'm completely honest. And we're going to set terrain here, and we are going to look at that in full. Again, once we take off, we can play with that. I'm going to bring up the weather on our side. So let's go here. We're going to put this on auto, and system 2. And this one goes to auto as well. This one is not functional, so this mode, the turbulence mode, I guess is, the weather mode is not yet implemented, but everything else is. So you actually can see the weather now. You can see the weather here being displayed. And terrain, by the way, this aircraft uses its own weather system, so it's not dependent on terrain radar. It's got its own. So, all right, we have a good start on all engines. And what we can do is the following. We can bring up the taxi camera just for extra fun. Let's increase the lighting here. All right, and the taxi camera is located right here. We're going to bring it on the display right here, as you can see, and we can pop it out if you guys like. Yeah, we can put it right there. See where we're taxiing, and we're good to go. So engine mode selector back to normal. And we can go back to the overhead panel, and we can select APU bleed off. APU master is off. We are going to turn on the runway turn off lights, nose light to taxi, and the wing lights we can turn on just right before takeoff. All right, so we are good to go. You know what? Let me just remove this from here, and let's see here. I think you can just watch it here. All right, parking brake released. Auto brake to rejected takeoff, and let's go ahead and taxi to the runway. Look at that. What a beautiful looking bird. The Toliss A340 looks fantastic. It really does look very, very nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh. We can't be taxiing there. Yeah, that's what happens when you get carried away with the views there. But look at the water splash, guys. You see that? That is really very well done by Laminar. It looks fantastic. Look at that. Look at it's very, very realistic looking for sure. I love it. I love the water splash effect in X-Plane 12. Very, very well done. And let's do the config test flight here. All right, we're good to go. And by the way, that's the turn to the runway. I think you can see it clearly now. Look at that, guys. The water splash is wow. Just really fantastic, really, the way they've done it. And see, as I hit the brakes, it's just really, really very well made. Very, very well done. Alrighty. Here's the turn to runway 28 left, where we are going to be departing Portland today, ladies and gentlemen. Murtoya, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your support. Roberto, thank you for being here this evening. Captain Ray, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights, strobe lights, and wing lights. And we are now... There we go. Set our view. Excellent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one thing on Streamlabs OBS. Alright, so we turn that off. Alrighty. And ladies and gentlemen, we are cleared for takeoff. Runway 28 left. Listen to the engine sounds. Bit of a all right, rotate. And positive rate of climb, gears going up. Speed check, flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 1. I think it's complaining about the transponder, so we're going to set that. Right, that takes care of the master caution. Hey, Niels, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. And speed check, flaps up. Going to turn off the taxi camera. Perfect. And autopilot 1 is engaged. We can disarm the speed brake and continue our climb. Looks like some heavy rain there. Clouds still not looking good. Actually, the clouds, in my view, the clouds look fantastic from the ground. not so much as you are above the clouds, but as you go through the clouds, as long as you are below the clouds. I think, I mean, look at the scene here. It looks fantastic. Yeah, look at that. And by the way, Laminar has already indicated in the developer blog that they are working on the clouds, and they are working on performance as well. So that is that will be done for sure in the updates to come. They definitely need to work on the performance, that's for sure. But this is actually looking very nice as we climb to 39,000 feet. There's the range, and we're approaching 10,000 feet. We can kill the landing lights, nose light, runway turn-off light, and the wing lights, and continue our climb. Very nice indeed. Here's a flyby for you guys. Back in the cockpit, everything is looking per design intent. We're going to go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt and non-smoking signs. And we continue our climb through to 39,000 feet, beg your pardon. Urgent, what does ING on the ND mode selector do? I'm dying to know. NG on the mode selector. Is it this one here? The engine ND, is it this one? Which one? Not sure. Where do we see engine? Not sure. No. Alright, so discussing the nice, the good, and the it's on the navigation display here. I don't see it. So one of the things that definitely require fixing in X-Plane 12 is the clouds. Once you are above a certain altitude, they look to be shaved. It's not happening now in this particular situation, but there are situations where it just looks really, really bad. On the FCU, where there is an arc on the knob. Can't see engine. Ah, this one here. That's planned. So it actually shows the engine. Set this to standard. Dasher just shows the engine displays here, which is similar to this one here. I'm not sure why is that there, because you have it here. But there we go. We'll go back to ARC. Alright, let's take a look at the outside real quick. Antonio, can you do a flight with the default A340-600? First, thank you very much, sir, for...
Can you do a flight with the default A330-300?
Absolutely. Definitely, that was actually something I was planning to do, and do a full review of this aircraft. It actually looks pretty good, so definitely we'll do that. And thank you very much, Antonio, for your super chat of $1.99. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Laminar just shared a blog, and blogger says they're going to boost cloud and lighting quality? Well, hopefully they do. And though before they do that, they ought to fix the performance, though, without a doubt. Kind of backup display, I guess so. I must admit, performance of XP is better with RTX 30s from the RTX 20 series. That might be very true based on my testing, yes. Is it the case? A screen breaks down. You can switch displays, so you can... That might be for redundancy's sake. Yeah, I agree. You only see the clouds at over 30K. Once you get closer to the ground, there's no contest. Yeah. Actually, in this specific flight, I'm not seeing the shaved clouds, so the clouds actually look pretty good here, as you can see. They could use some improvements, in my view. Again, they are not entirely, realistic, in my view. They look nice. They are definitely volumetric. But they are definitely not the, I expect better. I expect better from Laminar at this point, but this is, again, early access. It's beta, so, we ought to give it some time, and I'm sure very good things are on the way. A couple of add-ons have been released on the X-Plane World Store for, as a matter of scenery enhancement. One is Forests. X-Plane 12 Forests is now available through the org. I haven't tested it, by the way, yet, guys, but I will, and if it's worth it, I will do a review of it. It replaces all the trees around the world, the shrubs, just all the vegetation is changed, and it's from the pictures I saw, it's actually pretty good. And there is another add-on that was actually available for X-Plane 11, and it's made available now for X-Plane 12. I'm not sure it has much value, but it actually introduces a variety of birds in the sim. And yeah, it's something that I will definitely take a look at, and if it's worth it, I'll be sure to make a video and let you guys know. And if it's not, then I'll be sure to let you know. Either way, they are very soft to make. Yeah, I do agree. Luke, hello my friend. Does the ambient temperature affect the look of the clouds? I don't know. I don't think so. That's as far as I know, they don't know. Carlitos, welcome aboard. Look at the cumulus clouds in FSX 2020 with bad weather. It looks fantastic. I do agree with that. The clouds in Microsoft Flight Simulator look fantastic. The weather, generally speaking, in MSFS looks outstanding. And the scenery is second to none. It's just absolutely beautiful. AppGeek09, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue our climb to 39,000 feet. And here's a wing view for you guys. Again, we can see the clouds again. The lighting on the cloud is something I'm not very sure about, but again, it should, these things should be addressed in later updates. But this is actually pretty good, and we can see the contrails now. Actually, let's switch to the external view. Let me show you the contrails because I think they look fantastic. Now this is very cool, and this is one of the things that looks a lot better in X-Plane than it does in Microsoft Flight Simulator with contrails. Look at that. This is a nice scene right there. Beautiful aircraft, the Toliss A340. Yeah. Here's the wing view. I think, guys, X-Plane needs a little time, and with an early access, I think you can't really judge anything, even performance. I know I've done the settings guide because I know that's something a lot of people are looking forward to, and they want to tweak the sim. But things are subject to change. Even some sliders might be removed in later versions. I mean, only Laminar can confirm. But this is early access, so a lot of things will change in the upcoming period. I think in 6 months' time, I think we will have a very solid flight simulator called X-Plane 12. And today, considering this is early access, I'm actually very pleased with it. And I went to the extreme of removing X-Plane 11 completely and just really focusing on the new sim. And let's see here. You've also got to remember with MSFS, Microsoft is a multi-billion-dollar company with access to Bing Maps. Laminar is a lot smaller, and that is absolutely correct. So it's a game studio. So Asobo is a studio. They've done this on behalf of Microsoft. I think Microsoft is just really the brand name behind it, but most of the work I think is done by Asobo. And they're a large company, and they're backed up by one of the software giants in the market, Microsoft. So yeah, I mean, if we look at what the guys at Laminar have done, I think it is phenomenal. I do really appreciate what they have done here to create an extremely realistic simulator in terms of its flight model, its physics. And by the way, I still haven't shown you guys the float planes in X-Plane 12. And I've reserved that for my upcoming review, which should be very soon here on the channel. And it is actually very, very enjoyable when you fly seaplanes in X-Plane 12. It feels extremely realistic, and the physics, the flight modeling is done to a very, very high standard. So we'll take a look at that in due course. But yeah. Overall, I'm very pleased with everything that they've done. And by the way, they delivered on their promise, so everything that they said they would do, they have done in X-Plane 12. Only all the things that they've done require enhancements and improvements, and this is, of course, okay. This is the name of the game, as they say, when it's early access, so we'll just wait and see. I can already see a lot of free add-ons coming out for the sim. And it looks like the community is engaged, which is good to see. And here's the top of climb, as you can see here. We're going to be reaching to 39,000 feet, which is the final cruise level. 1,000 feet to go. Now, so we're almost there, and top of descent should follow according to performance here. So 5 nautical miles for top of climb, and then it would be top of descent. We can then configure the aircraft and talk a little more about both X-Plane 12 and all its add-ons. By the way, the Fly J Sim is almost there for X-Plane 12, and I really can't wait to fly it for you. Here on the sim, and I also have word from the developer of the SSG Boeing 747 that it is also it should be a beta should be ready in the next couple of days, and I will hopefully get a copy of the beta and showcase it here on the channel as well. So things that the developers are definitely working on bringing all their aircraft to the new platform. I think the X-Craft Embraer is now compatible with X-Plane 12, and yeah, I'll probably do all of those aircraft, just kind of show you guys, what they bring to the sim and what changes have been made. Some have been just simply ported to X-Plane 12 without really benefiting from without adapting really to the X-Plane 12 features and available options. But there are very few native aircraft, by the way, now for X-Plane 12, with the exception of V-Sky Labs. I'm also waiting for Airfoil Labs has shown a few pictures of their Airfoil Labs Cessna 172NG, which is again nearing release for X-Plane 12. Exciting times for the flight sim community in general, and we have really, 3 simulators now to enjoy. I think I've said that before. And I'll tell you guys, I am finding myself using both sims equally, both Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 12. Of course, the focus would be on X-Plane 12, and for those of you who were really upset that I was, covering so much MSFS content, is because of the release of the new add-ons, and X-Plane was pretty much dead in terms of new development due to the fact that X-Plane 12 was nearing release, and so all the developers were just kind of taking a break. But now that X-Plane is here and there's a lot to show, there's a lot to see and experience, then yeah, I'm going to focus on the sim and show you all there is to see. We're going to be reviewing now products for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 12. So yeah, very exciting times, definitely. I fly MSFS, XP, and DCS. I do the former two, the latter I don't do much with. Boeing Corp, welcome aboard, my friend from Logan, New Jersey. I'm running a little late. I was doing yard work and cutting the grass. Well, God bless you, my friend. And it's always good to do something, at least something physical, to keep you going, keep you healthy. So, God bless, and thanks for being here. More wing views there. I love this view. It looks just fantastic with those large Airbus wings. Just very, very nice indeed. Alright, so let's take a quick look at our flight plan here. And as you can see, here's the top of descent, and it will bring the ascent 251 nautical miles to top of descent. We should clear that fairly quickly with this big aircraft cruising at this speed, so shouldn't be a problem there. We should arrive into San Francisco on time today. And as you can see, this is the top of descent, and yeah, we should begin in about a half an hour or less. And by the way, we forgot to start the clock. Now, if we go to the MCDU, and I can already see that there's a lot of things that are in progress. So, for example, if you go to the ATSU menu and go to the OAC menu, you have this is of course if you have the Phoenix in MSFS, this would be very familiar. But it looks like everything here is work in progress. So flight init says work in progress, and so it looks like they still haven't developed this part of the Ukdu. All of this is work in progress still. Voice contact, yeah, all of that is still work in progress. But at least you can see what they intend to do. ATC menu. Yeah, you can message logs. Again, all of this is still work in progress. So we're going to go back to the MCD. All of these are still work in progress, and hopefully they'll be there before long. And it's good to see the development and the progress of the Toliss. It's a great aircraft in my view. But the thing is about the Toliss, and I've said this in my probably first review stream of the game. Mr. Polak, welcome aboard, my friend. Someone posted a picture of snow on Ortho Scenery. Haven't tested it yet, so don't know. It's a joke. Well, I don't know. That I cannot confirm. But here's my thoughts on the Toliss. The Toliss, the good thing about Toliss is that it's under constant updates. However, and I've said this in the past, and I will say it again even for this because I think it applies for this version. The Toliss is probably one of the most expensive payware aircraft for X-Plane 12 and previously for X-Plane 11. And I really honestly feel that the price, by the way, in terms of system simulation, this is a study-level aircraft. There is no question, and vetted by a real-world Airbus pilot. However, that said, the texturing is not up to the mark for the price, and the sounds are not up to the mark for the price, in my view. The exterior model is very nicely done, and I think texturing from the exterior model is very good. I can see a lot of enhancements to the 3D cockpit, which is commendable. However, I still don't think, for example, the overhead panel still I think needs work. Overall, the texturing is okay all over the aircraft, but they made improvements to the 3D cockpit without a doubt. So I do like what they've done to the 3D cockpit. However, the overhead panel still needs work. Overall texturing needs work. I do like the rest of it. Yeah, but the sounds again are terrible. Now, there is a sound pack by Mango Studios for the A340. Personally, when I downloaded the sound pack and I tried it out, again, I honestly was not very impressed, to be very, very frank. And you know me, guys, if I don't agree with something, you know, I'll just tell you guys right off the bat, I don't want you to invest your money in something that disappoints you. Now, you might actually invest in the Mango sound pack for the A340, and you might like it because it's highly subjective. You know, listening to the sounds, it's a very subjective thing. For me, it didn't do it for me, but it might do it for you. But I personally, if somebody asks me, should I get it, my recommendation would be no, it's not. And again, at the price mark, I believe the Toliss has in-depth simulation of the systems. It's still not complete though, as you have witnessed. The Mach-2 still needs work, and it needs a lot of work, by the way. So it's still work in progress. And you've got, you know, acceptable textures in the inside, nice textures on the outside, but the sounds are not so great. So the asking price for the aircraft is too much in my view. And I know a lot of people said, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, and the Toliss is the bomb and all that good stuff, and I agree that it's an excellent aircraft. I love it. I love the A321, by the way, my favorite of the Toliss lineup. But the fact of the matter is that this, I'm speaking completely from the perspective of somebody who has had a lot of experience in flight simulation, and I know what a good payware, you know, add-on should have, and what appeals to this community over the years. And I tell you that I cannot recommend the Toliss for its current price tag. It's not an aircraft that I can recommend with its current price tag. However, that said, if you are okay with the suboptimal interior textures, the suboptimal sounds, and you are really after the simulation of the aircraft itself, I think it is okay for you to go and make that investment, because the good thing is that the Toliss is under constant updates, and the team seems to be at work updating their lineup of aircraft for X-Plane 12. So from that perspective, absolutely. But if you're looking for example, if I compare this to, for example, the Challenger 650, which is of course more expensive than this, but then the level of detail of that aircraft is just insane. It is the single most detailed add-on for flight sim, period. I don't think there's anything that comes close to the Challenger 650 by Hotstar. It's a really enjoyable aircraft, study level, and it just really does not get any more detail than that. Phenomenal amount of details, and extremely realistic flight model as well. Again, vouched for by real-world pilots. Naturally Herb, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. 0321, welcome aboard. Alright, we take a look here now at the Mach-2. We are 195 nautical miles from our destination. We are looking good. Let's switch to the outside view real quick. And this is what things look like on the outside. Again, you know, the scene, the clouds. The clouds don't look very realistic. I think the clouds, here's the thing, the clouds, I think it's a hit and miss. I think sometimes the clouds look absolutely fantastic, and sometimes they look horrendous. And what I've noticed is as long as you are below the clouds, they look really good. Once you're above the clouds, then you get this really strange looking scene. I do like the contrast though. And I don't know about you guys, but I love this Delta livery on the A340. It's really good. Yeah. And by the way, this aircraft is optimized for performance. One of the very few that is that takes into account the and adapts to X-Plane 12 and provides for a very enjoyable experience in terms of the FPS overall. Very good FPS for this aircraft. By the way, as a matter of since we're talking about FPS, let's see what we're getting. We're getting about 40, 47, 48 FPS right now. 48, yeah, 48 FPS. Yeah, that's not bad. I still think we should be getting somewhere in the 60s range. Power Sim, welcome aboard, my friend. Hey, Captain, do you know how to set up the Tobii i5 for X-Plane 12 or not compatible as yet? Well, there is no native support, but I believe there is an extension that you can download for free that makes it work. I forget the name of it now. It's the same one that you use for making your camera as an eye tracker. I forget the name of the add-on. There is something you can download. It's freeware, and basically it works. You can make your mobile phone camera as a head tracking device or eye tracking device, and Tobii Eye Tracker can work with this add-on with X-Plane 12, but there is no native support as of yet. Guillaume Fontes, Captain, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you guys. We have with us Captain Guillaume, and Captain Guillaume is a real-world King Air pilot. In fact, he's rated on, I think, a lot of aircraft. He's been a guest that needs no introduction here on the Q8 Pilot channel. He's helped us fly the King Air several times here on the channel. So welcome, Captain. Glad to have you. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it very much. And as soon as the... so I'm going to let you guys on something here. So Captain Guillaume has graciously agreed to come on stream once the Just Flight or the Black Square analog King Air is available for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and he's going to come and let us know what he thinks of the aircraft, since he actually is very familiar with the King Air. So he will be actually giving us his thoughts on how realistic the aircraft is and all that good stuff. So thanks very much, Captain, for stopping by. Though it's a touch and go, it's always a pleasure having you on stream. Sloth Power, welcome aboard. How well does the A340 take advantage of X-Plane 12? I think it takes advantage very good. It takes, I think it's fully adaptive to X-Plane 12. Yeah. I just realized your flight sim experience is literally longer than my existence. Yeah, Mika. Well, I've been around the block, guys. Yeah. So, my birthday is coming up, by the way, folks, on the, today, what's the date today? About, 10 days? Yeah, September 25th, I will be turning 48 years of age, and, yeah, I've been around the block. Yeah, I've done a few things in life, so, some reflection here looks a little strange, I think. Yeah. We can change the time, maybe to... By the way, we can see the ground there. Maybe we can change the time here a little bit. Let me change the time. Yeah, now you can see the terrain a little better. Yeah, I think we just got rid of the reflection is starting to look a little strange, but that's all right now. It's okay. I just changed the time a little bit. And let's see. I feel a little less old now, Q8 pilot. Yeah, I mean 48 is you're old enough to be my dad. Well, Mika, if it makes you feel better, I have a 21-year-old daughter. In fact, I have 4 total. 21-year-old. I have my number 2 is now going to be turning 17 later this year, and I have a 16-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. So yeah, I'm a full-time dad, full-time IT, professional, and part-time streamer. All right, let's take a look at the flight plan here real quick. 145 nautical miles. We're getting close now. We should begin the descent into San Francisco shortly. Not me, I wish I was 48 again. Well, Boeing Corp, I'll tell you, every age has its own, kind of, how do I say this? It's got its own taste. And age is only numbers. It's really how you feel deep down in your heart. I mean, my dad has just turned 80. And he is just full of life. God bless him. And he's currently in the UK, spending some time there in his vacation home. But he's enjoying life, and he smiles and he laughs, and he's having a good time with mom. And it's for us. I think we're a family of 4. So I've got a sister, 2 sisters, and 1 brother, and for us to see him doing so well at his age is a blessing, and he's really taking good care of himself in his youth. Health-wise, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. He's very healthy. He's very active. He keeps his mind always on something, and that is very important as we grow. I think it's very important that you always keep yourself busy with something. Don't let your brain go in an idle state. Just keep it going. Brad says that he's older than all of us. Are any of your kids getting into aviation? Mika, my son, is very fond of airplanes. He loves airplanes. He loves doing streaming with me. He sits with me. He just, all his iPad is full of aviation stuff. He buys aircrafts just about every chance he gets. He's got so many of the die-cast models, so I think he might be a future captain. Yeah. I've just had my 61st birthday trying to learn computers, never mind learning to fly. Well, Dave, if you need any help, my friend, you can always shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you. Oh, Vietnam vet. Oh, wow, Rand. Evening Q8, what is your feeling on the performance of XP12? Generally better than XP11 or more or less the same? Well, X-Plane 12 is currently in early access, so the performance right now is not good. I will say that much about the performance. And that is something that Laminar Research has acknowledged in the known issues on their developer blog, that performance is an issue in X-Plane 12 at this point. It's still early access, guys, so we ought to give them some time to iron things out. And again, by the way, early access is not for everyone, so you may not, feel comfortable with early access. So please, if you're, if you don't feel comfortable flying in a sim that can break on you or can give you really bad performance, even if you have a really hefty system, then please just wait. Just stick with X-Plane 11 for now, and you can get it once it's ironed out. Or of course, I'll be reporting to you guys, of course, with every beta if the sim is in a state where everybody can enjoy it. But I think right now, I don't think everyone can enjoy it, especially those with a low-end machine. In my settings guide for X-Plane 12, I have given my recommendations for a low-end machine. You can always consult that video for what I recommend. And normally what I do is, for these tests, is I have an emulator that emulates different, different settings, different processor speeds, and I use that emulator to do these tests. So they're not always 100%, but it should be a good guide for you to configure your simulator settings to basically get the best out of your system resources. All right, we are now 109 nautical miles. We're going to begin setting up for our approach and arrival into San Francisco. So we're going to go to the next phase, and let me grab the information for what did I do here? I think I've let's see. I think I might have closed accidentally. Sorry about that, guys. I think I might have closed the Sim Toolkit Pro accidentally. So do not restore. Let's see here. Alright. So we just need to get the weather information for San Francisco. And the weather information, folks, at San Francisco looks like we have 110.4 knot wind. Visibility is good. Broken clouds at 3,000. 21 is the current temperature. Altimeter is 2995, so we're going to set to 2995, and the current temperature is 21 degrees Celsius, and the wind is 110.4 knots. Yeah, 110.4 knots, 110 and 4 knots. All right, that is done. And we are good. Decision lines. All right, and we are all configured. Now the altitude, the initial approach altitude is 1,800 feet at San Francisco. So we're going to close that. Perfect. John Mark Q8. What do I type on Google to find the solution to my issue? Well, the solution to your issue is very simple. Let me see here if I can. Oh, I deleted X-Plane 11. All right, I'll tell you what. What I'm going to do is, if you can message me on Discord, I will show you exactly what you need to do. I'll just make a couple of screenshots and send them over to you on Discord. Brian, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Very interested on flight sim and streaming as well, but I have a big problem. I don't have a computer for that. Would you like helping me? Well, if I can help you, I'll help you, Brian. How do you suggest I do help you? I don't have Discord. All right, John, shoot me an email at info@q8pilot.com. I'll just send you there some screenshots to help you, get the... get your XUI PC running for X-Plane 11. All right, so folks, we are going to begin the top of descent shortly. We are now 84 nautical miles from top of descent, so we're going to begin the descent. And the weather looks pretty good. Look at that scene there. The contrails in X-Plane 12 is just fantastic. MC Crewfish, good evening, my friend. Thank you very much. Do you have the sound mod installed? No, I do not have the sound mod installed. And I think the developer might have reached out to me earlier to review the sound pack. I got it from the Sim Market store, and quite frankly, I didn't really like it that much. It doesn't really justify the investment, in my view. But that's just me. I mean, you guys may disagree with me, but that's just me. I do like the interior engine sounds of the Toliss now. I think they've been enhanced. I do like the cockpit textures for the most part, at least this part I do like. I don't like the overhead panel, and I don't like, I don't like the sounds on this aircraft. And then it's got a lot of work in progress as well. So again, for the price, I think those functions they better start working very soon. And by the way, guys, I purchased the aircraft, although I was given a beta of a recent version of the aircraft by Toliss, and I like it. I like Toliss lineup of aircraft. I like their A319, their A321 with the Neo upgrade. I purchased all of their product lines, by the way, and I absolutely love it. And but from the flight sim perspective, for the consumer market, for you guys out there, if you would ask me for a recommendation right now, do you think that this aircraft is worth the price? My answer is no. It's not worth the price. It's a brilliant aircraft, but it needs a lot of work to justify the price tag. That's my view. Foxy the Cat, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. David, yes, I do have a Discord, and normally it's in chat. Maybe I've disabled the timer, but I do have I definitely do have a Discord. Maybe Rand, Stan, or Amari, maybe you can guys post the link to the Discord. Oh, you found it. All right, perfect. Thank you. Excellent. All right, here's stop and descent, guys, right there in approximately 61 nautical miles. So we are going to begin the descent into San Francisco shortly. Looks like it's going to be dusk as we arrive. I'll change the time a little bit because I do want to show you guys the beautiful waters as we come into land, runway 28 right. It's a beautiful approach into San Francisco. So yeah, we'll adjust the time a little bit when we are closer to the approach. Toliss fleet is expensive, but I fly them nonetheless. Yep, same here. I'm having blurry screens in X-Plane 12 regardless of setting. I have tried turning off FSR and forcing my monitor's resolution. I have everything set to high or very high. Anybody have a fix? David, what is your texture resolution? If your texture resolution is on something to do with Lemonards, and I have a 3060 Ti, 8 GB VRAM, 32 GB RAM. Do you have your texture setting set at max, or is it on high? Now, I've noticed, I have tried the Ultra far right tick as well. And, all right, so I've noticed that some aircraft have a problem. So, for example, in the I believe Flight Factor A320. I don't know which aircraft you're trying out, but some aircraft, the interior, when you are in the interior, there are certain spots that are blurry. They're all blurred out, and they look very funny. Not with the Toliss, though. I haven't seen anything to suggest that there's a problem with the resolution. Yeah, it looks pretty good in my view. But I've seen it on some of the Flight Factor aircraft where it looks very funny. So only certain parts look funny. For example, on the On the FMC, it's just unreadable. It looks very blurry, and you can't really read anything unless you bring it up and click it like that. Then it looks better. It's kind of here blurry as well. So, so it could be with the aircraft you're flying. XP really needs to fix the cockpit lighting during dusk. Absolutely, yeah. They need to work on that ASAP. I've tried Citation X FF A320 upgrade, default A330, and the Zevo. Mainly it's the ECAM and the A320, unless I'm zoomed away in or pop it out. Yeah, I think that is something that is either indigenous to the plane itself or something that Laminar needs to fix. I don't think it's anything wrong with your system, unless you are getting the same problem when you are, you know, I don't know if you have, you know, a flight simulator, but if you're getting the same problem with other games or other programs or with Microsoft Flight Simulator, then I would say it's your system. But otherwise, I would say it's something either related to the aircraft itself or this version, the early access version of XPlane 12. Is there a temp fix for the XP12 dark cockpits? Can hardly see. No, I don't think there is a fix right now, but hopefully Laminar would fix it. And if they don't, I'm sure someone is going to come up with a mod to fix the lighting. Because I do agree with you, it's pretty bad, especially in some aircrafts more than others. But it is a really bad problem. I've also noticed that all the lights in the overhead panel are very dim compared. Yes, that is true. That is absolutely true, yeah. Your pull is a 3-way tie. Really? Wow. Gee, look at that. So basically, guys, here's the thing about the live streams. So normally, the reason I've done this poll is, you know, is because normally I play about a 5-minute countdown before the stream, and normally during this time I just kind of set things up. Hey, Peter, how are you doing? Steve Barker, welcome aboard. Normally I play this countdown. It's about a 5-minute countdown. And by the way, this is the recommended best practice by YouTube, is that, you know, you allow people to come to the stream and they start the chat, they start getting excited about your stream. So I kind of sometimes follow the rules. So, but what I've noticed now, most of the streams then turn into videos, and that is something that people will need to skip. So I either create a chapter in order to skip that 5-minute and start the video where I begin talking, or I actually skip the countdown altogether and just start it. So I just really wanted to get a feel from you guys as to, you know, what is it that you prefer. And it looks like it's pretty much a tie, yeah, which is very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's take a look here. Top of climb in 13 nautical miles. Let's go ahead and reset our MCP altitude to 1,800. All right, and we're going to bring this up here. We're going to go to the next page. Next page, we need the altimeter 29905. All right, perfect. And we'll bring this down here, and we should begin the descent momentarily now into San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen. Is your email all lowercase or no? It doesn't matter, John. Just say info@q8pilot.com. Lowercase, the uppercase, doesn't matter. But there you go. From Mika, she's saying all emails are lowercase. I haven't really had any problem sending emails to all uppercase. It doesn't really matter, I think. But lowercase will work for sure. Thank you, Mika. All right. Here's the top of descent mark. 4 nautical miles for top of descent. Let's go ahead and initiate the descent. We're going to do, no, we don't want open descent. We are going up. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Nav descent. And we have now, ladies and gentlemen, begun the descent towards San Francisco International Airport, the destination of our flight today, having flown from Portland in Seattle. Seattle, Washington State is a beautiful state in the U.S. I've been there many, many times, and it's absolutely adorable. Beautiful place to be. For those of you, of course, who don't like the rain, it's probably not the best place to be, but I just love it. I just love it. I've been to a number of U.S. states, and it's Seattle happens to be one of the ones I really like a lot, and I have a lot of very nice memories there too. I still actually, believe it or not, I still have a few friends back from the 90s when I was a student, and I still am in contact with them until this day. One of them is actually my classmate. We went, of course, to Cal State University at Fresno, and we actually both majored in computer science. And Darren's my friend, and Darren and I, we go a long way, and we've shared a lot of very good memories together. I remember there was a time when, we had this professor, and she was a Japanese American, and it was very difficult to understand, her English at times. And when we asked her to repeat, what she said, she'd get really upset. So Darren and I used to, have laughs about that, and we still remember that. I met him in 2000 and I believe 2017 or 2018. I met he works for a security company, and they had some work. They do camera and security systems for for hotels and large buildings. So he's one of the directors there. So they had a project in Dubai. And he told me, look, I'm in Dubai, why don't we meet up? And it was actually very nice to see him after so many years. And we did, we went to the desert tour and, the safari Emirati style. And it was a lot of fun. He was there with his wife, and it was really a lot of fun. And, I definitely, guys, I miss my days in the States. I'm very fond of the time I've spent there, and all the great people that helped shape, who I became. I went there as a very young lad. I was 17 when I went to the States. I came back to Kuwait at 26, and I never actually visited the country. I never visited my family in Kuwait. They actually used to travel, to the States and meet me there. Dad used to still be, he was one of the, a government official, and so he used to get a lot of conferences in the States. He was a member of the International Road Federation. He was actually the representative of Kuwait and the United States in the Federation. And so he used to come to the States quite a bit, and he used to come and visit, and those were just the greatest times, because I get to see my parents every now and then. My brothers and sisters used to come. My eldest sister had her honeymoon with her husband in the U.S., so they came and visited me as well. So all in all, I kept close ties with the family while I was there. I never came to Kuwait during that period. It was a very long, about 8 years that I've stayed in the States. And it was definitely a fun time. I'm very fond of it. Just some really great people, beautiful. The American people are very, very friendly. They're very down to earth, very helpful. And I never spent, a Christmas or Thanksgiving or any occasion on my own. I always got invited by either my neighbors, my friends, and girlfriend, whatever. I've always, I felt very loved during that time, and just really, I just chuckle with joy every time I talk about it. And I could just go forever talking about it because it was really a time of a time to remember. It was the best time in my life. College years was really the best time in my life. I did a lot of crazy things. I did a lot of good things. No regrets. I've done a few bad things, I guess, in life in general, but no regrets. You know, I never regret anything that I've done in life because I believe that whatever good I've made has made me better, and whatever bad I've made has also made me better because I've learned something. And you know, you either learn from others, mistake of others, or your own. So I've learned from others, but I've also learned from my own mistakes as well. But yeah, I just every time, you know, one of my American friends, you know, talk to me, I just, you know, we just go for hours talking about, you know, what it used to be like. Yeah, those were the days, without a doubt. Portland, Maine. Greetings from Bahrain. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Really appreciate you being here with us. That's Oregon. Yes, correct. You are absolutely right. I'm very sorry. That's my bad. Portland is in Oregon. It's not too far from Seattle, but it is in Oregon. That is actually absolutely right. That is absolutely right. Thanks, John. I'll take a look as soon as I get a chance, and I'll let you know. And we have with us Jim Finley from Germany. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. If you are enjoying this live stream, hit that thumbs up button for me. It really helps the channel. And we have also Xander. Greetings from Belgium. Welcome aboard. And we have with us A340 from Mauritius. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. All right. As you can see now, as we begin descending towards 24,000 feet, now the scene looks a lot more convincing. So if we look here at you know, at the outside, now you can see the cloud variation. You can see the different layers of the clouds, and things starting to look a little better. But now you can see the shaved off clouds as well. So maybe far there in the distance you can see that. So that's the kind of ugly part of this early access. But that is something that will be fixed in due course. Augusto Martins, welcome aboard to the Q8 Pilot channel, my friend. Glad to have you. And now we can also see the terrain underneath. And now the scene is actually starting to look very nice. Yeah, without a doubt. There we go. I'm just changing the time a little bit. I don't want it to get too dark before we get to San Francisco. Right, we can adjust the range here. Everything's looking good. Greetings from Brooklyn, New York. Hello, my friend. Is it Ray Tac 23? Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. It's like the whole UN is here. Netherlands. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Safe landing. Going out now. Take care, MC Crewfish. Now again, as you can see, the light scattering is something that needs work as well, in my view. It doesn't look very realistic. But yeah, everything else looks fantastic. I am really enjoying X-Plane a lot, and enjoying, you know, it's. I remember when MSFS came out and the add-ons started coming out, and it's just really excites me when I see new stuff, when I see things being upgraded and made available for the sim, you know, gotta go and try them real quick, and then share my thoughts with you guys. And really, I take it very seriously that I don't want anyone in the community to invest something that is not worth it. That is one of the, you know, principles on which the channel was found. We have Danny Roberts just became a subscriber of the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome aboard, my friend, to the growing family here on the Q8 Pilot channel. Glad to have you with us. Sims and stuff for default X-Plane 12 airport. That's yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The airport, the default airports in X-Plane 12 are very, very good. I do like the upgrade of the graphic assets. The assets overall, the graphic assets are definitely one of the strong points as a default sim. I think it looks very good. I'm not talking about the mesh or the terrain, but I'm talking about the actual graphics. So out of the box, actually you get some really nice airports. If you have X-Plane 12 and you haven't already done so, fire up Munich. Take a look at Munich, Innsbruck, just about any airport. They just look fantastic, and the ground textures, the markings, the runways, they all look very, very nice indeed. Here's, by the way, a look at the outside here as we approach. I'm going to change the weather here a little bit. We don't want to arrive during nighttime, so we'll do that. And we get to cheat when we're in a sim, which is cool. Alright. There we go, and it looks like there's, by the way, the cloud coverage seems to be... Okay, now you can really see the shaved clouds that I was talking about. You see that? How it's all shaved off at a certain altitude? You can see it very clearly now, which is highly unrealistic. But again, you know, Lebanon are aware of this, and they will fix it with time. Alright, standard, let's go ahead and set the 299.5, and 299.5 is set. Very good. We're going to go ahead and turn on the landing system on both sides so we don't forget that. And we're looking good. Okay, perfect. I'm nearing the end of my first long haul in X-Plane 12 now over March in the departure arrival into JFK from London Heathrow. Whoa, wow, really? You know, I wish I had the time, guys, to do long haul flights. I think the longest one I've done was in the Concorde. I think I've done one from Kuwait to London Heathrow, and that was I think 3.5 hour flight. And definitely it was a tiring flight. Definitely, especially that I was doing it to record it and review the aircraft on the channel. So it was really a very daunting task to fly for that long and then, you know, do the video. But 5,000 miles. Wow, that's a lot of miles. What's your longest distance flown in a simulator? Well, I think the distance, I'm not sure about the distance, but it was from Kuwait to London Heathrow. Normally the flight, in the normal days, it's about 6.5 hour flight. And I've done it, I think, in 2.5 or 3 hours, something like that. And yeah, it was definitely fun flying the Concorde, especially when you reach supersonic speed. And it's quite fun. It's quite fun learning about the Concorde. It's a masterpiece and a real testimony of you know, human ingenuity and brilliance. And it's an aircraft that I personally like a lot. And I've had a personal encounter with the Concorde at the Brooklyn Museum in the United Kingdom not too long ago. Yeah, it's a beautiful aircraft. Did you say Concorde 13.5 or 3.5? No, it's 3.5. 3.5 hours. Alright, we're coming down to 13,700. I'm going to reduce the range here a little bit so we can see what's going on here. As you can see, this is the transition into the star. And there's work. And we need to be at 1,800 feet. So it looks like there is a restriction here. Let's take a look. No restriction. So we'll continue the descent. And yeah, looking good here. I think we might be slowing down a little bit. Alright, so it's doing what it's supposed to do, I suppose. So we're just going to let it do it. Alright. And here is the turn. Now this actually looks, you know, quite nice. Again, I don't... you can see the clouds here don't look very realistic, but the funny thing is, the clouds here look okay, so they're not shaved off, and they are shaved off here. So that's something that is probably a bug in this early access, and I'm sure that will be addressed. Alright, we're looking good. And here's a look at the outside. Again, this is what I'm talking about there. You can see it, whereas it looks okay here. The overall terrain is okay. I don't think it's bad. Of course, it's subjective, but if you compare it to Microsoft Flight Simulator, then yeah, then it's really bad. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, Isaac has just become a VVIP member here at the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much for your support being a VVIP member of the channel. I truly appreciate it very, very much. From the Pond Simmons stuff, hello, my friend. Nathan, welcome aboard. My longest haul was from Lima, Peru to Kuala Lumpur in the 748. Wow. I used to fly on FSX, then P3D, and I always said MSFS. I think I must have split the bar too high for any simulator. That is true in terms of scenery. Yes, I agree. I agree. Man, those reflections inside the cockpit, funny. That looks very funny there. All right. We're coming up now to 10,000 feet. Let's do a flyby here real quick. By the way, this is the airport, and we're going to head over to that direction, and then we're going to intercept Siepen here, and then, you know, come straight in for runway 28, right? We're looking all right. Is there a restriction there? Looks like there is a restriction. Alright, we're descending. Alright, very good. We're looking good. We're going to keep the speed in managed mode. Alright, 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing lights. We need the runway turnoff lights, nose lights to take off. wing lights. Let's go ahead and bring up back the fasten seatbelt sign, not smoking signs. And we're looking good. Here's our turn. Very well. Alright, we're almost there now, folks. I'm going to change the time once more. Right there, I think that looks good. Okay. As you can see, we are the runway's right here, and we're currently too high for the runway. We need to continue our descent to 1,800 feet. Once we are at a reasonable altitude, then we're going to intercept the... right now it says here manual, as you can see here. Yeah. So we're just going to give it some time and descend. And once we are at a reasonable altitude, then we'll make a turn. Normally this is, of course, ATC controlled. But since we are just flying without flying offline, we'll just do it ourselves. And we'll keep the current speed, which is about 210 knots. What we can do is... okay. Just give it some time here. And here's what things look like on the outside. Hey, Kim Sparks, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Alright, so one more thing we need to do. We need to arm the speed brakes. And we're going to set the auto brake to number 2. We can put the terrain here. Alright, needle is starting to move up now as we fly away from the airport. We are at 7,000. And let's take a look here. We need to be at 3,000 at the next waypoint. So we're just going to give it a little more time. And then we're going to fly direct to Sipan. We are, yeah, maybe at 6,000. We'll begin the turn. Just give it some time. Excellent. All right. At this point, folks, I think we can go ahead and come over here, and we're going to go to direct. Select next waypoint, and now it's the turn. Excellent. One of the things I really like about X-Plane is the fact it's got a very powerful camera system with a very powerful replay system, and that's something I really like a lot about X-Plane 12. Here's our turn now towards runway 28. Speed check, flaps 1. By the way, if we take a quick look here, Actually, let's go here. Just make sure we know. Okay, we have 149. Okay. Brilliant. We are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. And we should be in San Francisco in no time. That's the turn right there. All right, we're going to go ahead and lower the landing gear. Speed check, flaps 2. Let's go ahead and engage the approach. Speed check, flaps 3. Might have configured a bit early, but that's all right. Yeah, there are some flickers, you know, some strange things with this early access, but hopefully all of this will subside. We are looking good in terms of our altitude. We are configured for landing as well. It's actually, if you look here, so we have 180 here, 3 nautical miles, and so we're actually pretty close. After we do the turn, it's actually almost we could have waited a little bit for you know, for lowering the landing gear, but that's okay. Look at that. What's up with the, what's up with that? That looks like a bug. Very strange.
2000.
And here's our turn now towards San Francisco. Localizer captured. I am using XP Realistic, and that's the runway in sight. Visibility not so great, but not so bad. I can see the runway. Oh, that is a beautiful scene here as we come into land. We are on final, runway 28 right. Look at that, folks. Looking good. It does look a bit odd, and I can't wait for Orbex support. By the way, I don't install anything in X-Plane unless it is 100% supported. So I'm not into copying things from X-Plane 11 and moving them over. I just don't do that kind of stuff. Just a matter of personal preference, nothing else. Alright, low slope is active. Speed check, flaps full. Alright, let's notify cabin crew. Cabin crew, please prepare for landing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the landing lights on, and all the lights are configured for landing. Seatbelt sign, non-smoking signs are on. The auto brake is set on 2, and look at that. Yeah, it looks good. And landing gear is down, and flaps full. Speed brake is armed, and ECAM memo, no blues. We are clear to land runway 28 right here at San Francisco. And we will disconnect the autopilot at 1,000 feet, hand fly the aircraft, and hopefully we'll give you a good show. One thousand feet. Autopilot disconnected. My aircraft. Hello, San Francisco.
$500. $400.
100 above.
$300.
Minimum.
$200. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20.
Retard. Retard.
$10.
5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Francisco. Reversers are out. 80 knots, manual braking. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Aaron Wilson, thank you. We're going to turn the next taxiway. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, San Francisco Definitive by ShortFinal. A beautifully rendered airport. We'll take a look at it in just a minute. We'll park the aircraft. We'll do a replay of the landing. And what we'll do afterwards is we'll take a look at the airport. What's going on there? Ah! See, I have the reversers on a button that toggles the reversers, and then you need to sort of idle the power to disengage them. And I'm just getting accustomed, getting used to it. Very, very nice rendition, by the way, of San Francisco Airport by ShortFinal. So this is actually a payware airport. Right, so we don't have any traffic, so we can go ahead and make the turn here. Actually, very nice airport by ShortFinal. All his airports are fantastic. And let's see here. We're gonna go maybe there. Let's go ahead and turn off the landing lights. Taxi. Strobes are off. There we go. That's a nice spot to park the aircraft. Such a large aircraft, the A340. So it looks like I have to come this way. Go. Oh, there's a marshaller there. Alrighty. Parking brake is set, and we have now made it safely here at San Francisco. Now, the fun part is you can just click here and do the replay. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. I think that's about right here. And we can now take a look. Just look at that. Beautiful. By the way, the same views are available in this version of Excellent. Guys, just look at how beautiful this aircraft looks as it comes to land. Just really fantastic. We'll do a multiple replays and show you guys this from different angles, but this looks very, very nice indeed. Look at the reflections again. The lighting engine in X-Plane 12 is fantastic. Woo, beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. All right, let's do it one more time. Let's go to R, replay. And let's see here. We are going to put it right here. And we're going to do maybe, let's see here. Yeah, this is a nice view looking at the aircraft as it comes to land. Is the rain modeling working on pair aircraft? Yeah, the rain modeling works on the aircraft, but there are certain conditions in order to see the rain on the. I can show that to you if you like, but just look at that beautiful sight of this beautiful airplane coming to land here at San Francisco. Look at that, some crosswind there for sure. Wow, that's beautiful. Lovely. Just lovely. We can bring it back. Maybe not so much. Here, let's take a look. Where's the runway? Alright, here's the runway. And now we can do like a wing view. I think it's already enabled for this aircraft, but I don't think there is rain specifically. Nice wing flex. Brilliant. Very nice indeed. All right. Well, we're going to go and hit the R button here. All right, so this is the aircraft parked at the gate. What I'm going to do, guys, is I really want to show you this airport real quick. So we're going to change the time of day, and I want to show you San Francisco by ShortFinal. Again, this is, in my view, a very nice rendition of San Francisco, a very accurate rendition of San Francisco. If you've been there, you will appreciate the amount of details there. You can see the again, the parking area there, and the main entrance into the terminal. As you can see here, San Francisco, beautiful, just really beautiful. The PBR materials used is very good. And by the way, I think this airport is still, it's available for X-Plane 11 and 12, but I'm not sure if it fully supports or it takes full advantage of the X-Plane 12 features. But nonetheless, it is just absolutely gorgeous airport. Very, very well developed by Mr. X6 or ShortFinal. Very, very nice. The buildings, and it's optimized for performance as well, so it doesn't really tax your PC too much. Beautiful rendition of San Francisco, really, with all the details that you can expect to see. And just look at the beautiful water here as we look at the airport from a distance. That looks just absolutely fantastic. Here we can let me just show you guys here real quick. All right, we can go back, and we'll have what I want to show you is a look here as you come to the airport. And it looks just really fantastic, guys. Just look at that here as you just put this back here. What an approach into San Francisco this is. There you go. See that? That just looks absolutely gorgeous. Here's another look at the airport. Well, folks, that's pretty much it for this live stream today. I hope that you've enjoyed this live stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. And if you have any questions, as usual, please do post them in the comments section below. I want to thank you very much for being with me this evening. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.